In our society today, people with special needs often feel ignored, left out in many ways, and stigmatized. Such members are segregated as their birth is related to evil, witchcraft, and as a bad omen. As a result of most of these families hide such family members out of the sense of shame or to protect them from the negative attitudes of the society. What such families long for is a shoulder to lean on and someone to remind them that they are still an important part of the society. It's for this reason that 28-year-old Joseph Wanjao has taken the initiative of helping such families in Muranga who are struggling to fight the social segregation they are facing from the society just because of having a disabled child.
Say goodbye. Most of these children, they have grown as I watch them, so I just come from this region. So these are the people I've always wanted that when the day comes when I'll be able to be in a position to do something for the society, I'll give a hand. So I've been doing this now for the past 3 years, trying to reach to those who have been hidden by the society and trying to see how we can be able to help them.
Our journey to Molim village in Makuyu division led us to the humble home of Jane Wanjiko, the proud mother to Pauline Jerry, who was born 6 years ago with cerebral palsy.
I realized Njeri had a problem when she was 8 months. Whenever I would hold her, she would bend her neck, so I decided to take her for checkup. Njeri started her medication, but there was no change. I thank God because her hands can move and stretch. She can even hold a cup and drink from it. Another problem with Njeri, she does not feed well. She can even take 2 hours to complete her meal. Her meals have to be taken with milk so that she can be able to swallow.
Jane narrates the painful experience she has been through after her husband left her, leaving behind 6 children to be brought up.
My husband fled because I had a disabled child. He told me his family had no history of disabled kids, and he neglected me. I decided I would not neglect my child, since the Lord is the one who knows the beginning and the end of Njeri. Wanjao has been of great help. I have a lot of problems.
When I came here, I saw the way she was living, and I felt bad to see that at least we can be able to do something. So I went out there, gathered some of my friends, and through my friends we tried to raise some money. That's why we came up to build this house. Yeah, so that also she can live in a better place like others.
Life seems meaningless, for she cannot do any job to earn a living, but instead remains at home to look after the child.
I rushed to do laundry next door for one of my neighbors. I proceeded, but since my house is close to the road, a woman heard my child crying. She called me and asked me why I had left the child crying in the house. I dashed quickly back home and found Jerry lying on the ground. I went back to the lady that I was doing her laundry and explained what had happened, and she was kind to let me go and take care of Jerry.
Four kilometers away from her house in Mihango village, 23-year-old Catherine Waithera is swimming in a similar pool of trauma. As she says, she was not privileged to acquire proper education and studied up to class 4 since their father abandoned them and mother was not able. Was still, fate saw her bear a physically challenged child.
Sasa vile nilimzaa akiwa na kidoda kwa mgongo, na ndio sasa hapa akaenda ikafanya ni kama imeshonwa, alafu tena ndio ilifanya sasa haribike kichwa, akawekwa mpira ya kutoa maji kwa kichwa ikipeleka kwa tumbo. Sasa tena ikaharibu miguu. Sasa vile alifanyiwa operation sasa ikakuwa ni kama imepona lakini bado imefura. Sasa kenye ilifanya afanyiwe operation ya mgongo ama ya kichwa, ni mgongo ndio ilifanya kichwa iharibike, ilikuwa na maji. Yaani ilikuwa inafura, inakuwa kubwa kichwa. Sasa hiyo mgongo iliharibu kichwa na miguu, sababu ilikuwa ni kama kidonda. Ni spine ilikuwa imeburst. Ilikuwa imetoka kidoda, ilikuwa inatoka maji. Sasa ndio ilifanya kichwa yake iharibike na miguu yake iliparalyze. Sasa ndio hivi.
According to Wanjao, doctors' report shows the child may recover, although it might take a longer time because the child is paralyzed from the waist down to the legs.
The doctor says it will take long for the child to recover, although they are not that sure. They are still 50-50. They are not sure whether the child will fully recover. But we are continuing the clinic so that we see the chances which we have for this child to recover fully and to see whether he can be able to be self-reliant in future.
Throughout this job, God has been so faithful and has been providing transport for Wanjao, which has helped him ease the job because most of these families live in the interior.
And now the problem the mom is not employed. She has nothing to do, and now she was only taking care of the child. And to get the money for hospital bill is also very expensive because the husband is not also permanently employed, just a casual laborer. And now the most challenges we have in here is the clinic, because you have to attend clinic every month, and the resources they have are not that enough.
But what really inspired him to start this noble job?
For a long time, I've always wanted to do something that will change the life of us, those many people who are not be able to help themselves. So I've always wanted to do this, and this is my passion to do this. So when I see a child like this one, when she smiles, I feel so good when I know at least I'm doing something small that will be able to make her life better.
In Kiavava West village of the interiors of Kambiti, we meet 19-year-old Michael Mohere under the shed, possibly waiting for his mother, who arrives a few minutes later. Michael was born a normal child. However, after 2 years, he developed problems with his spine.
When I took him to hospital, they extracted some fluid. After the extraction, his condition got worse, though his condition had worsened before.
According to his mother, 46-year-old Lydia Nduta, water is the main challenge in the area and has to go a long distance to find some.
Water is not enough. I fetch 2 to 3 jerrycans. I get very tired, which is not enough to cook and do laundry. I am forced to do laundry near the river.
She cannot do any job, but sometimes forced to leave him to search for the rest of the family. As she says, the rainy season is her most difficult moment because she cannot bring the child outside.
It is a very hard task on a rainy season because I cannot expose this child. I can only let him burst on the sun a little and take him back in the house.
A few kilometers away is Mary Wanjiko, who was abandoned by her mother at the age of 3, and her father shortly passed away, leaving Mary and her brother under the mercies of their aunt.
Mimi ni anti yake. Alikuwa akilewa na nyanyake. Nyanyake akatoka akaenda. Akaniachia huyu mtoto. Akitoka ni mchukue, hatujui mamake alienda wapi. Hata saa hii. Lakini babake alikufa. Na mimi nateseka sana kwa sababu hata mimi niko na watoto wangu 3 na wao ni 2, wote ni 5. Na huyu mtoto kutoka azaliwe ako na tabu sana kwa sababu hakai. Alizaliwa akiwa ni kulala tu.
With 5 children to look after, Alice says life is each day becoming meaningless for she has no one to turn to.
The main problem we have is the medication and food because she cannot feed on hard food. And now most of the time they rely on well-wishers. That's why we are trying to see how we can have a rescue center where all these kids can be taken good care of.
Giving birth to a disabled child is every woman's nightmare, but being deserted by the spouse over the same is even more traumatizing. Many of these women are only lamenting in pain after being abandoned by their husbands.
Ni muthuri wakwa thire ni undu wa guciara mwana toy akijira kwa gutiri cio je ni nje kwa ndagitanie na kio je ngigwa ni ri mwana muciare ndatego ni guikara na kia hano.
The majority of persons with special needs find their situation affecting the chances of going to school, working for a living, enjoying family life, and participating as equals in social life.
Watakangi kuniona sababu wanajua tunataka kuachia mtoto. Watakangi kuniona. Au sasa wenye nilikuta huko wasichana mama watakangi kuniona. Wanasemanga kindizanga kiwete.
61-year-old Rachel Njoki was abandoned by her husband after giving birth to Andrew Kenyanjui, who happened to have deformities. Scarcity of food and water are the main challenges for both. Andrew spends the whole day without eating and locked up in the house as his mother tries to look for food. Andrew's mother has been facing a lot of stigma from the society.
When we were just about to go, I did not know where people came from. We saw people behind us shouting, "Ghost! Ghost!" We could not understand what they were referring to as ghost.
So far, through God's grace and love towards his people, Wanjao came up with Hope Foundation for Orphans, a registered non-governmental and non-profit making organization dedicated to working with orphans and people living with special needs. The foundation aims to fight against poverty and injustice, to bring a positive change in the society.
For this family now, the most challenging thing is the child. I'm looking for a way to have a center, like a rehabilitation center, where we shall be able to keep some of these children. We can be able to take care of them. And also for the families, I'm trying to do women empowerment, because most of these children are even their single parents who have been abandoned by their husbands. So I'm also trying to see how we can do women empowerment so that they can be able to sustain other members of the family, as we also take care of the children through the rescue center.
It is only by lending a hand to the destituted that we can bring a positive change in our society and making it a better place for a better tomorrow.
Wanjao has been of good help to me. When they came here, he brought blankets and clothes for the children. Wanjao has really worked hard to help us. He gave us food, and whenever he comes to visit us, he does not come empty-handed. He brings us maize flour and other foodstuff that takes us up to 2 weeks. God has used him to come through for us.
What I would wish to is to appeal to the well-wishers, the viewers, to try to help us so that we can be able to relocate these children and have a center for them. And those who might be willing to have some donation for food stuff, clothes, they are all welcomed.